You have to know that the moments of silence and stillness is still a moment that God is moving. That's the most, those are the most times that, like, when God is moving to me. That is the most when God is moving, when things go quiet. I enjoy when things are quiet. I enjoy having alone time because that lets me know that I'm able to hear and I'm able to see. When I started doing that, when I first moved into my first home, and I took a year of like just not having anyone in my life, meaning a partner, even like not even many friends, I really had to know what it was like to learn how to release. I really had to learn what peace felt like within myself. And with knowing what peace felt like within myself allowed me to release a lot of things that came with tears, that came with a lot of writing, that came with a lot of reflecting, as well as addressing some things from choices that I made that first I deemed as a mistake, but then I just took accountability. And then life became easier to breathe in. Life became easier to breathe in. Like, okay, like, I can breathe today. I can, like, I can do this. I can, like, get through this. And so I discovered that everybody didn't understand that. Everybody won't understand why you have to have moments of being alone, why you have to have moments of really checking in with yourself. Because I knew that the things that I was going through was not just for me. And that also caused me to like have a deeper moment of like internally suffering too, because I'm like, why can't I like shake what's going on with me? Like, why can't the person that I want to be with and I understand why I'm doing this, like different subjects. Why can't my friend understand why I need to do this or why this is happening, why I don't want to do this no more, like why can't, why, a lot of whys, until I learned to just be quiet. There will be times when you don't have to continue to ask those questions, and God will gently give you the answers as to why you are who you are and the way you are. You're not meant to do everything that everyone else does because you desire something different. I desired something with substance, even if it came to careers, even if it came to relationships, even when it came to my character. I decided and desired to be something different, and that ain't always popular. I wouldn't even consider myself someone who was popular. I was not. No, I definitely don't think I was popular. But I can say now that it ain't even about being popular. It's about knowing yourself, trusting yourself, honoring yourself, valuing yourself, loving yourself, if I didn't say that already, seeing yourself. And I really pray you see yourself. Moment by moment, experience by experience, lesson by lesson. And the more you allow yourself to do that, the more you'll allow yourself to shed. I feel like I'm like aging backwards or something. It's like when I was really going through things like spiritually and mentally, this glow was like, it was not there. I'm able to sit here and clearly look into this camera with no filter and love every single part of my face, my body, my smile, like everything. You must allow yourself to heal. And And I can promise you this, like in those moments, I was thinking not only about myself, I was thinking about those who need to see the light, who need to know that you can come back to yourself. You can come back home to yourself. Because you can. And even in the sense with me saying like come back, it's a different type of home. Like I'm saying back, meaning that it's always been in you. It's always been in us, like as powerful people, as being one with God within ourselves. You just been taught thinking that this stuff was always outside of you, and it wasn't. It wasn't. Find your way back. Big, big word, but you got it, baby. Find your way back. Don't let this life drive you crazy. Like, don't. Every moment I used to sing or speak or just put myself out there in a way of feeling as if I needed approval when all I needed to do was approve of myself. To see myself. And it feels real good. But the things that I desire to teach and to help others see themselves in is something that I've bravely allowed myself to go through. I don't desire to be in relationships where you're not acknowledging that you have to do the work too. You have to. I didn't desire to be in a relationship where it felt like a man had to carry me. Carry me spiritually, emotionally, physically. I felt like that would have been too much of a weight for him, especially if I did not know myself. I would end relationships. Are you brave enough to like end relationships knowing that you're not ready to be in one? Are you brave enough to do that instead of like making someone be with you or make them feel guilty? Trauma bonding, I think that's one thing that they call it, like trauma bonding. I can't do that. I had the experience where I felt like I was doing that. Like I vividly remember when I felt like I was doing that. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I'm avoiding all of the things that I need to be doing for this. And this is not helping me. And I feel it, and I see it, and I can't unsee it. When you start to see stuff, you can't unsee it. You can't be like you can't. You can't. Because it's now in your mind. And God would not let me stop thinking about how I was preventing myself from my own growth, my own abundance, my own blessings, my own prosperity. It's like being allowing myself to be confused because of what other people thought was best for me when I was being led and knowing what was best for me. So I'm saying this, even if you have to abstain from people, places, things, substances, you can do it. This don't have to be no holier than thou moment where you're just like, I'm not worthy. I just got to stop doing this to myself. I just keep disappointing God. What about you disappointing you? Disappointing God is disappointing you. You're not disappointing yourself? You're not disappointed? You don't want better for you? I mean, some people don't. That's another thing. Some people don't, and you have to let them be. But this cannot continue to be experiences where you're thinking that just talking to you will be enough. You got to talk through to you. You got to have the conversations. You got to have the reflections. You have to be able to articulate it. You got to be able to speak it out. You got to be able to speak over it. You got to be able to speak through it. Because you can. You can. You hear people say that if I can, you can. That is a real thing. You won't believe that it's real because you weren't in all of their experiences. And you don't really have that feeling that they're talking about. But I hope with each person that you do see as someone that you look up to, that you admire, that is talking to you like how I'm talking to you, that you feel that connection through that screen with them, that you feel, I really can. They might not know that first step for you. Trust that God will give you your first step, and then your second, and then your third, and then your fourth, and your fifth, and your sixth, and your seventh, and so on and so forth. Because you can't continue to think that God can only talk to me, that God can only talk to them, that God can only talk to them, that God can only talk to her, him, them, and not you. You're worthy too. You're worthy too. And again, this is not to boost your ego. This is the truth. There was something that I read that was talking about the reason why it's harder for people to believe is because that's all they've known. All they've known is poverty. All they've known is hearing someone say the good things and not really being able to experience it, like going right back to what they always known. And then after that, you just continue to choose it. How suffocating is that? You can have better. You can be better. You can have more. I'm glad that I decided to know that I was more. So then I'm able to speak this way. And my concern is not for you to believe me. My only concern is for you to believe in you. Because I believe in me. I'm gonna go on. It's time for you to know that you can go on too. That's how you know that you get divinely connected. And it's not a coincidence that you get connected to people in a certain time, in a certain way in your life. I am so grateful for the moments where I was led. Even when I felt like I wasn't ready for changes or moments to evolve, God knew I was ready. Even if I felt I was afraid, the shaking and all, the crying to the other person over the phone and all, I don't know if I can, and I got through it, I did it. And I'm telling you the same thing. You're not here to just show yourself as a finished project, because none of us are ever finished. We have the ability to continue to grow. And how beautiful is that, even when we do go through things. And even when it seems as if there is no way out, God creates a door. God creates an opportunity. God creates a way. And if God can do that for me, meaning if my faith that I've built, the foundation that I've built, can do that for me as well, you can create foundation too. You can create strength in yourself too. You can create compassion in yourself too. You can create endurance in yourself too. You can learn to love you more than you've ever loved you too. Just as much as you learn a bad habit, you can learn a good one. I learned that too. I am definitely a person who is not perfect, and I'm so glad that I'm not. How boring would that be? But then I would hear people tell me that they thought that I was perfect, and then I would be seen as an enemy. And it's weird, but that's another subject. But I'm just saying, as much as you give energy to bad, you can give the energy to good. There's no reason to continue to dodge the journey anymore, because it's obvious that you know how to feel. We're choosing to continue to feel the uncomfort of feeling bad, and then that uncomfort is comfort, and then codependency, and it's not helping you, it's hurting you. What will it feel like if you allow yourself to really go through it, to really give that energy towards being consistent with spiritually healing and mentally healing and physically healing yourself? And I guarantee you that God will guide you and bring you exactly what you need. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for you who's watching this video, for you who is willing to not only listen, apply it. Like today, if you haven't written in a long time, I love to write. If you haven't written in a long time, take the time to go to the store, get a notebook, and just start writing something. It doesn't have to be perfect. This ain't got to be no to me, from me, like it doesn't have to be any subject. Start somewhere where you are allowing yourself to be fully honest. There's a book called The Artist's Way, and it talked about I think morning pages. And you just start out just writing out your thoughts. Now eventually you'll get to a space where, you don't have to read this, and if you want to read it, you can, it's up to you. But it'll get to a point where you're hearing what you're saying. You're releasing what's inside of you. Then you start listening to yourself. Then you start looking at yourself like how I'm doing right now. I'm looking at myself as I'm talking to you, something that I could not do. I could not do this. I think like 3-4 years ago, I couldn't do this. It would be like an every now and then thing, but it was something that I was very passionate about. Like I really wanted to put myself out there more, and things like that. Now I'm always having my camera on, because I always have a thought and then it turns into thinking. And man, I can not have my camera on, and I can be saying some good stuff, and then when I'm done, I'm like, dang, I should have recorded that. I should have recorded that. But it is such a wonderful feeling to be a little chap. I can't be a little chap. It's a wonderful thing to be in a space where you desire to see yourself. Me desiring to see myself caused me to really remove a lot of noise, and sometimes I really liked that noise. Like, oh hey, you want to hear what I just thought about? Like, oh my God, this is what I was thinking about, and then you would see those people that you love downplay what you're talking about, or ridicule you, or just water down what it is that you were thinking of, until I learned to be quiet, and knowing that I get to choose those people that are for me. You get to choose those people that are for you. There's a lot of things that you're going to be breaking. There's a lot of so-called traditions that you're going to be breaking. And that is where you know that that is the unpopular opinion. To break traditions. Break them. There's a lot of things broken anyway, right? There's a lot of brokenness going around that is being more forced to be chosen. I don't want to choose brokenness. I don't want to choose stagnancy. I don't want to choose just settling. If there is God who is infinite, then what am I? What am I? I'm everything God is. God is, therefore I am. That is not me saying that I can do everything God can do. That is me saying, me being who I am, if God is telling me that there are things that I desire to do according to me, my purpose, who I am, I can do that. Because me and God are one. And be unapologetic about changing that. Because when somebody trying to change your faith, they trying to shift something in you that God put in you. I said this in a video where I said, my faith was my prosperity. If I would have listened to people who told me that what I was doing was at the last minute, what I was preparing for was at the last minute, what I was desiring to make happen was at the last minute, I wouldn't have had those minutes. When I'm on God's timing, I'm never late. Never late. You are on God's timing. You're never late. I don't care what anyone tells you. Don't listen to that. You listen to the God spirit inside of you. When God tells you something, you will find a way. There were so many moments that I will share when I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen because I really want this to happen. And God, like, I don't got to tell God what's going on down here. What's going on around here. Because it ain't about me looking up to the sky like you going to come down. Like, God is everywhere I am. God is everything I am. God is right here. God sees it. So I don't have to be like, God, you know my situation. You know my situation. God knows. What do you desire? What do you need? What do you trust? What do you know? Once I started doing that, it's like I would still cry though. I would still, like right now, I can get emotional, like just being like pushing through that doubt. Because you're not going to make me think, old version, me talking to the old version of me, like you're not going to make me think that God won't do it. You're not going to make me think that God will not give me what I desire. And it is for good. You can't desire something for bad. What I am desiring is for good. And it won't be happening for me. And it happened. And I would be so blown away to the point where I was speechless. And then I had to get comfortable in that. Even in the moments when I felt like, when things were happening, I had to be okay with it happening. How interesting is that? Yeah, you got to get comfortable with the blessings that you're receiving so that you're not in a space where you're just like, no. Don't do that to you. Don't do that to you. Because if that's what you want, you can go back. God won't stop it. You can go back if you want, but why? You got to really ask yourself, like, why? So, like, once I started, like, really tuning in to God and just being like, this really happened. And I did not have to stress for it. I did not have to penny pinch for it. I did not have to make multiple calls and beg for it and plead and be like, this is something that I really worked hard for. You know, you see my face? Just worry. You see that worrying look? You see that? I really worked hard for it. Like, I really just needed to. I really don't have this. And then as if I am unworthy. I had to work through all of that because my body was still showing that I did not trust. And that's the same thing for you. Look at you. Feel that when you say it, I trust God. God is my everything, so I don't have to worry about anything. Thank you, God, for a solution. And allow my body to rest, because I would be in such a stressful state trying to pick my brain that was still overcoming being limited. I was still overcoming being limited, feeling limited. And it wasn't about God showing me like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. It wasn't about God performing for me. It was about believing that the prayers that I prayed, that I was also preparing to receive. And they were on good foundation. I couldn't continue living like that. Living like I was unworthy of the blessings that I was receiving. Because I would starve myself spiritually. I would not do anything. Just, I'm not worthy of this. I'm just going to sit this here. I'm grateful, but I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to like mess it up or anything, because I could. And I wasn't even doing nothing. It's for you to enjoy. So many types of stress. And now that's gone. Like, all that's gone. You can't allow yourself to go through that. You can't even allow what other people try to tell you to make you feel like you got to continue to go through that, because some might enjoy it. This is not about them, though. This is about you. This is about us. We talking. I just need you to know that you're worthy. And even when we get off this video, that you go in the mirror and you find yourself looking at yourself, you look into your eyes and you see you. And you still see that there's some beauty there. There's some power there. There's some strength there. There's some faith there. It begins with you. All your desires, all the things you desire to break, all the things you desire to grow, all the things you desire to nurture, starts with you. And this ain't something where you got to have a list, because there's been a lot of things that you were not prepared for, and you feel like, now I really got to prepare for this. I really got to get it together. God knows. And with you getting it together, know that you can also be nurtured in this too. Nurtured well. You can be nurtured well in this. That's what I used to think, that, like, you know, getting my relationship as a comfortable, and having a relationship with substance was something that I felt like I was unworthy of, until I learned my relationship with God is nothing like my relationship with people. There was patience that I never knew, and it was not patience that I took advantage of. See, once you learn to have patience with yourself, with the patience that God gives you, you learn why it's so important to not take advantage of it. And it's no purpose in taking advantage of it. You're using it for your advantage so you could go on. Using it to your advantage, like, there's no reason to cheat. There's no reason to be like, thanks God, and you gone. I mean, God, I feel like God would be like, why are they running thinking they can outrun the journey? Like, God is everywhere. You know? That's how I be thinking. But okay, this video is very long, but I don't even know what I was going to talk about. I just turned the camera on and I just started talking, and I think that is what I am most comfortable with. Because when I used to try to have a list of things that I wanted to talk about, it became a little bit harder to do it for me, because it gave me a little bit more, gave me more feelings of being anxious, and I don't like feeling like that. So when I feel it, I'm going to do it. And when it gets to a point where there's things that I do want to talk about, I already have so many things I want to talk about. And then I'll just flow from there. But in the meantime, between time, this is a really good one to post, and one to put out for you to have, and, you know, to come back to, you know, even take notes on. Like, I'm sharing these things as a way for not only myself to continue to be free, but also for you to be free too, whoever watches these videos. And just really to know what you can do with what you know. And when you adapt to something that helps you and heals you, you can do it for somebody else. There's no reason to dodge the journey, because God is on this journey with you. So you know it's okay, right? Oh my God, I have not posted so long on my podcast. I definitely need to do that too. I do. All right. I'm gonna cut this video shorter because it's already like very long. We're like 33 minutes. 33 is a great number. This is my 33rd year right now, so that's a great sign. I love you. You love you. Take care of you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for coming back. You know, thank you for being on this journey with me. Whoever chooses to watch this video, I pray for good intentions for you. I pray for grace and abundance be unto you. And so it is. See you later. And it's about all right, I'm happy. All right, bye.